$446K home in Phoenix to avoid being a renter forever. Looking to buy a $446K 4.3 new build in Phoenix as a single 29 meters, and I feel like this would be my best option unless I'm a renter forever. The builder is offering a 5.5 rate with $4K toward closing, so I'm thinking the monthly price is around $3K, which is disgusting, but I don't think I'll ever be able to buy otherwise. Currently paying $800 in rent with roommates and thinking I will have to find roommates to even consider making this deal. Looking forward, I think rates will stay in the 8 range for the foreseeable future, and if rates come down, home prices will skyrocket in price. Anybody got any advice if this is worth it? Edit take-home pay is around $5K with no car payment or any student debt. Career is somewhat stable, 2 years at this job, but I worry AI will be a problem sooner rather than later. As an experiment, starting right now, begin saving the expected mortgage amount minus your current rent. So $2,200 a month. See how much money you have for all other aspects of life with a faux $3,000 mortgage payment. Sure, this house might not be available, but you can't comfortably afford it from a monthly budget perspective, and you'll have extra cash in savings. A 4.3 home for a single decision man. PHXRN has one of the best rent versus buy situations, so doesn't make sense at all for what it's worth. Try seeing if you can save $2,200 mo for the next 6 months. You'll have you answer you can't. Always count on roommates to be there or pay on time. I'm just going to throw this out there. There is nothing wrong with renting. All investments carry some risk. The risk of buying a house in Phoenix is that there's a chance at some point in the future there won't be enough water available to supply it. If that happens, that is going to hurt property values, to put it mildly. What's your income? You still need to qualify. Bad idea. Don't do it. What part of Phoenix? Where's this $446K 4.3 new build? Asking for a friend. My man, if rates go down, we'll be in a crisis. Exactly like '08. Housing prices fell a ton for 6 years after the last housing bubble. Rates fell for those entire 6 years. This housing bubble is much worse too. The 28 rule says to spend no more than 28 of your income on a mortgage. You are double that with that home. Do you really need a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house? I'm in Phoenix. Fucking do it, dude, before you get priced out. If you make under $150,000 a year, I wouldn't do it. Your life would be hell. Wait, it's gonna get dirt cheap. Renting locks you into a forever payment, always increasing. The single best thing you can do is purchase. Imagine in 30 years, no rent payment. Sure, there's other costs, but you get to manage those, and they are much, much less than rent. Rates drop, refi. Rates go up, you got a deal. Win. Win. Part of that payment is paying yourself in principal reduction. Rent money gone. I don't understand how people fall for this narrative, that they will be priced out forever. Your mortgage payment shouldn't be more than 25% of your take-home pay. This home is way out of your budget. Why do you need or even want a $450,000 house? If you are dead set on buying, which is great, I recommend it, why not get something smaller like a condo or a townhome? Have you considered moving out of Phoenix to a cheaper suburb? Prices are pretty high out there. You need to aim for something that gives you no more than a $1,200, maybe $1,500 monthly mortgage. Are other houses in a similar price range? I'm trying to understand why the builder would offer substantially lower rates than the market. Hard to give further advice without income spending. This is a bad idea. Going from 800 to 3K is insane. Also, remember, you will go from a tenant to a landlord if you get roommates to share the load. With 5K in income, you can't afford 3K payment. Ever heard of global warming, bruh? If climate change continues, that house is going to be worthless. I would never buy in a place with no water in 110-degree days. Renting locks you into a forever payment, always increasing. The single best thing you can do is purchase. Imagine in 30 years, no rent payment. Sure, there's other costs, but you get to manage those and they are much, much less than rent. Rates drop, refi. Rates go up, you got a deal. Win. Win. Part of that payment is paying yourself in principal reduction. Rent money gone. Market's gonna crash into oblivion in a few years, just wait. Tons of naysayers here. I bought a house in 2013 that was over of my initial budget by 25. This was the best decision of my life. I was 23. I had renters and a steady job. Yeah, the market definitely went in my favor and my house has almost 2x'd in 10 years. My advice: if the bank will give you a loan, absolutely buy it. Why do you want to buy? Solely BC of FOMO? In response to somebody spending 70K on a house in repairs, all of that stuff should have been foreseen prior to purchasing a house, either doing your own inspection if you're talented enough or hiring a professional, and I certainly would never ever have overpaid for a property when you factor in repairs and all the inconvenience. I would have made sure I had appropriate deductions or would have moved on to another property. Can't wait to be a serial killer for the day to come back. Too risky at your income level. Banks won't approve. If you buy a new build, get a good special inspector. Their reports will save you money in the long term. At least you'll get some tax money back, as you'll likely get to itemize with the mortgage interest expense. Plan on roommates, hopefully 2 to start. Find people you can live with for an extended time. Sounds like a bad idea. I rent with my partner and prob would not be able to pay this down. How did you even get the loan approved? Go cheaper or wait until you're in your later 30s. Buy the house and refi in a couple years when rates drop. Do it. Get what you can while you can. If you like the heat, do it. Do whatever you can to get into your first home if you don't anticipate any career changes in the next 5-7 years. I moved across the country to live in an area I could afford to age in. Ideal? No. But you just have to ask yourself what you're willing to do to get what you want. I wasn't willing to cripple myself with debt. I moved to the Midwest from Central Texas and I bought a brick and sandstone home for sub 200K. Crazy amount of beautiful, affordable places to live in the Midwest. Sorry, it's not somewhere Instagrammable or cool, lol. Having been a homeowner for almost 20 years, I used to have a mindset of re-ring is bad, but looking back, there are big advantages of being a renter. I will go against the grain and say do if you can. Find your roommates and do it. Damn good thread. Saved. There's nothing wrong with renting. It's not throwing money away. Rent is the maximum you'll pay on housing in a month when a mortgage is the minimum. Not sure why you have such a homeownership kink, especially with 8 interest rates. Also, 60 of income to mortgage is insane. Best of luck, young man. Why would you buy an asset that appreciates at approximately 4 a year with an 8 mortgage? You need a reason to not be a renter for this decision not to be a bad one. Don't but a new house.